this is Dr. Bonos coming in with another video review. And today we're once again taking a look at an unfortunately canceled figure, that being the Transformers Dark of the Moon Deluxe class Leadfoot. Now this is the second version of Leadfoot that we've gotten, the first technically being the Human Alliance one, but that wasn't a weaponized one at all. This one, as you can see, is the normal weaponized version that we saw in the actual movie. Now there are technically two versions of this figure. There's this one, which is the Takara Tomy version, which as you can see doesn't have the Target logo on here or any other kind of sponsorships throughout the actual vehicle mode itself, other than you got some Autobot logos there and there. And one thing that you're going to notice is he's got a much nicer paint job, especially in the thrusters. You can see that here, but we'll comment on that in a minute. The other version of this is the 2-pack version, which was going to be a Target exclusive, which came with this and Twin Twist. Now the Target exclusive version obviously did have the Target logo on here, but the silver thrusters were actually this kind of ugly tannish color, which just looked really bad. This, in my opinion, is a much better painted version of the Leadfoot figure. As you can see, like I said, weaponized, and he's got weapons all over him. He's got some missiles right here and here. Both of these do detach. They just plug into the little MechTech portholes here, and then you can plug them anywhere you really want to. You can plug it there on the side. I like leaving them there because it kind of breaks up that ugly tan color that I really dislike. He's got some machine guns up here. He's got another kind of Gatling gun at the top that also, if you want, you can plug these anywhere you want. Like you can stick them right there on the side, leave them right there, whatever you want to do. You can take this one off. There's another hole right there. You can plug that right there. It's your personal preference, whatever kind of configuration you like. I personally like this configuration. For some reason, and without researching it and looking at it, that just looks more movie accurate to me. Zooming in a little bit, you can see though that this is a NASCAR that's kind of blown up and really, like I said, weaponized. You got the thrusters right back there. You kind of can sort of see another thruster inside there. And with the help of my little flashlight, you can see even better. There you see it. There's a thruster right inside there. But overall, very nice looking. The only thing that would make this look better would be if it actually had the sponsorship logos and such that the actual car had. Now that's something that I hope that Repro Labels is able to fix, and at some point in time I'm hopefully going to be able to do an update video on this, showcasing that set by itself. But overall, a very nice looking vehicle mode. Now when you compare him to his other wrecker buddies, you see him next to the weaponized version of Topspin, which, you know, when you compare these two, I mean, it obviously looks really kind of cool, but you can see how much better this looks with the Repro Label stickers on here. I mean, this just looks so much better if you ask me. It looks a whole lot more real, and I'm really hopeful that they do the same thing with Leadfoot. But you can definitely see that these two guys really look cool together, but then you add Roadbuster, who is just his normal, regular, run-of-the-mill NASCAR, which, when you compare all these guys, this guy sticks out like a sore thumb. Now, robot mode, he doesn't look too terrible, but definitely in vehicle mode, you can really see that this guy just really doesn't seem to kind of match with these fellas. Now, you can take, well, this is Topspin's weapon, you can take this and you can plug it right up inside there, which, okay, I guess that kind of gives them a little bit more of a weaponized look. And you can take these, you know, and you can transform these missile pods here in the back. You can do this, but it really doesn't help the look too much. I mean, you can kind of go like that, I guess, and you got some missiles hanging out there. I mean, I guess that's a little bit better than nothing, but it really still just does not match. It's really kind of unfortunate that we got this guy in just the regular NASCAR mode. I really, really wished we actually got all these figures in weaponized versions and no regular NASCAR versions, because these guys look awesome together. And this one just kind of goes... When it comes to the transformation for this guy, at first it's actually a little bit tricky to do. And honestly, when I first looked at it, I was kind of intimidated by how I thought it would transform. But it's actually pretty fun, and once you get the hang of it, it becomes very easy. First, what you want to do is come around here to the wheels, separate these, they just kind of tab in, and fold these down just like so. Spin around here on the bottom, then take this section right here, which you can kind of sort of see is going to become his fake chest. It kind of replicates the mesh from the windows and the doors and such. Just fold that down, just like that. And then take this section right here and fold this up. Come around here to the side, take these, untab these, and just kind of angle these down. do that on both sides of the figure, kind of just angling those down, getting them kind of out of the way like that. Then coming around to the sides of it, untab this and this. You pull those both out just like so. Then swivel these all the way around on both sides just like so. So you have it's a giant mess. And from here you take this whole section and you kind of pull these apart just like so. You're going to separate these thrusters from this middle section. Then take this, and this whole section here will fold up just like so. Kind of getting it out of the way. Come around here. This part's a little bit tricky. You kind of have to wedge your fingernail inside here and lift this up and then accordion this all the way out. And then you have it slid out like so. You want to slide it back just like so. Just a little bit, not much. Just enough to kind of get it out of the way. And you'll see why we do that here in a second. Then spin it around here, separate this section. And basically what you're going to have is you have the arms for him down here, his head up here, and his legs up here. So you have to basically rotate all this stuff. So rotate these little bits out, swivel this section down just like so. And then swivel this up just like that. And it's starting to look a little bit more robotic, I suppose. Kind of straighten out these legs. Gonna angle up here so you guys can kind of see. And then this whole joint right here bends, and then swivel this up, and that plugs in just like that. Do that on this side as well. Bend. Plug that in, so now you have those tabbed in properly. Now this part's actually a bit of a pain in the butt. You want to rotate these bits out, and then you're supposed to be able to take this section here and rotate it. Oh, well, it actually worked that time. Normally, it doesn't. Usually, these bits fall off, but that's basically how you're going to do it. And actually, that's not the right way. You need, yeah, see, that's why it didn't work. You need to rotate these down. But usually these bits pop off, which is a pain in the butt, and I really dislike that. Then just fold these in, and as you can see, these are going to be the makeshift doors here on his chest. Fold this up, just like so. Kind of position these. These are obviously, you have these back like so. You want to make sure that they're slid forward. Take this section here, bring this down. Kind of keep these doors out of the way because those will get in the way here in a second. This is going to angle, and then you're going to see a little tiny hole right inside here that this bit right here is going to tab into. So just slide that all the way down. That'll tab into that. Then just position these little tires underneath his belly. And basically you have his belly created, which, you know, it's not too terribly bad. And then just fold these just like so. Then come around here to the hands, rotate those out just like so. And then rotate this whole section down, kind of getting things out of the way. And you actually rotate it by the thrusters. As you can see, the thrusters are on this joint right up here that you just kind of rotate those down. Take these, just kind of spin these little guys all the way around like so. Again, just kind of getting them out of the way. There we go. Just like that. Rotate these bits around on his forearm, just like so. And just simply just rotate these around. Come on. And then angle these back up like so, where they're kind of positioned along the side there. Then come around here to the feet, fold that back, fold out his little footum. There you go. Then just take this back section, and I mean, depending on how you want to do this, you can just collapse this in. I mean, it's really kind of up to you how you choose to position it, and then straighten them up. And here you have Leadfoot in his robot mode. Now again, honestly, when it comes down to it, the weakest part of this figure, I think, is the lack of the sponsorship logos. I mean, without a doubt, I really think that this guy is really cool looking. He's a little bit fiddly, which, you know, it's not too terribly bad, but I really do love the way this guy looks. The other thing that you're going to notice is, in terms of a difference between this one and the actual American release one, if we actually got it, is that his head is this really nice silver paint that goes along with the silver paint on the thrusters. Now, in the actual American release, this color is the color of his head and the thrusters. So that's really ugly. One thing that I do kind of wish, though, is that they actually made this, just got rid of this color entirely and just painted it all silver. But I love the way this guy looks. Not only that, but you can see he's got some really awesome light piping going on. I mean, it's kind of a small light pipe. I mean, it's the whole back of his head, but that's just really coming across very nicely. I think that's just really cool. And as you see, just the silver paint on it just really makes the whole thing pop. Just overall, though, a very nice figure. I honestly think that the weakest part of the figure, outside of the aesthetic of the decals, the design-wise, I really think the weakest part are these bits right here. I wish there was some way that we could do something else with these, because they're just kind of ugly and hanging off on the side there, which really kind of ruins it for me, I'd say. Now, he is a little bit hindered in terms of his articulation. A lot of it because of these bits right here on the side. His articulation-wise, it rotates here all the way around based on this joint, but it's also got this ball joint right down here on the bottom part of it. He bends at the elbow, and unfortunately, because of the way that the joint is, I mean, I guess it really doesn't matter, because even if this wasn't here, as far as it goes out, is right there. So that's as much articulation as you're going to get. He bends at the elbow, the wrists move in and out, there's nothing at the waist, but ball jointed here at the hip, so you get a nice range of motion right up there, rotates at the upper part of the thigh, and he bends at the knee. And there's, you know, a little pivot in the foot based on the transformation. So you don't get a heck of a lot of range of motion with this guy, but what do you expect? He's a little fat transformer. He's not going to be doing a whole lot of dynamic poses. He's just going to boom, 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 boom. And that's it. I mean, and I even like the way his belly looks on this thing a whole lot better than the Human Alliance one. So, I mean, in my mind, this is a pure win. And when you compare him next to the other Wrecker Deluxe figures, you can really see that adding Leadfoot to it really completes the look. And just really helps to bring some character to these guys, especially if you already have these two in your display. Now for the transformation back, again, at first it's a little bit tricky to do. But with some practice, it's actually not too bad. First, just kind of straighten this out. Get that all the way out like so. Rotate that out just like that. Come around here, we're going to replace the feet, bend those down, get those little suckers out the way, then take these, rotate these little bits all the way down. You're just going to create clearance for everything that you need to do here in a couple seconds. Spin these arms around like so, just like so. You're going to take the fists, put those back, and then you're going to rotate these all the way around so that you have it kind of looking a little bit like this. Come around here to these arms. You want to rotate these up just like so. And what you're going to kind of do, if you look on here, when you rotate these around, you kind of line up the raised bits right on here. And that's pretty much what you want to do. So now you have the arms that are going to be kind of sticking out like so. Open these little doors. Get those out of the way. Take this section. Lift this. Rotate that up and behind his head, just like so. Angle things up so you can see. Then take this section, slide this up like that. Bring these wheels out, just kind of get these out of the way. And come around to this section, rotate this down. And you're again at the part where things need to get reversed. You need to put the arms down here, you need to put the legs up here. So first come around to these arms, detach them, and then angle them out like so. And you got these, you gotta watch out for these tires, kind of keep those folded up just to get them out of the way. Then take this section, fold that down, rotate this bit up like so. Then you're going to rotate these down and bring these legs up just like so. And it's a big giant cluster flub of a mess. And there we got it. Just like that. You're going to bring those together and then angle this back, tab these together at the front, rotate this back, kind of angle everything down, and that should lock into place across the top section right like so. And you're starting to get it back into a halfway sort of car looking mode. Take this section here, fold this down, and then plug these on the inside here. It's so hard to see. Keep these lined up like so, and then on the inside there are actually little tabs on the inside here that you have to line things up with. And well, bend these down here. We'll do that. Get that down, bent out of the way, just like so. And then these have to slot in here, just like that. Plug those in on both sides. Keep this out of the way. I'm just going to angle this. Keep these slid down. Rotate these around, just like so. Bring them in. Those are going to kind of slot into the sides there. Again, do the same thing here. Bring these in. That slots in, tabs in nicely right like so. Rotate these bits around. Those are going to tab on the side. Rotate that around like so. This section here rotates down, and you have the back section pretty much done. Take these wheels, bring these up. Those are going to slot right inside there. You can see little tiny slots right there, and then a little hole peg. You got that little slot right there. So just rotate that up just like that. Then this bit right here is, like I said, a pain in the butt when you have to rotate it. So do so very carefully. Bring that up, push that all the way in, fold these in. In here you have Leadfoot back in his vehicle mode. Now when it comes down to it, a lot of people are still going to be very critical over these movie toys. A lot of them just don't like the design aesthetic of them. For me, I personally love the fact that we see real life vehicles, although weaponized and not really looking real life, have the ability to transform into realistic looking robots. It's not a cartoon, and I think that's what a lot of people really kind of hope with the movies, for a cartoon look. That being said, if you like the aesthetic of these movie toys, and just the design of the movie itself, I really think you're actually going to enjoy this figure. I love having them and being able to put them out there with my other two wreckers. For me, it just kind of completes the look for the set. Now when it comes down to it, my recommendation is very high on this figure, but you have to be able to find it at a price that you're comfortable with. Again, knowing that this is a Takara version, just in general, it costs more than just the regular retail release that we're going to get here in the United States. Combine that with the fact that it's also now a canceled figure, you're probably going to pay a little bit more on top of that. So the Takara version is normally going to cost you about $30. The fact that it's canceled is probably going to raise the value of it like another 20 bucks. So $50 is roughly what I would say is a good price for this figure. But again, if $50 is too much for you, then obviously don't pick it up. If you have the money laying around and you would like to complete your collection, then I do highly recommend picking this figure up. It's yet another example of a figure that we could have gotten here in the United States that unfortunately some of us may never actually get to see. But there you guys have it, the Takara version of the Deluxe Class Leadfoot. I want to thank you for tuning in. This has been Optibotimus. I'll talk to you later.
Defenders of truth, robots who fight.